this was unloading the truck, and I will say getting this mill out of here, focus on getting the bottom off, not the top off the box. It'll be more useful. The next thing I would recommend is this is not going to be flat and straight, even if the area that you're going to be setting it down on is flat and straight. Keeping that in mind, some of the experts have gotten steel beams and welded those to a plate and then mounted that plate to the bottom of this. There are holes for bolts to mount it downwards and then get levelable feet put on those bars. The next thing we found was smart to do was this thing weighs 300 pounds. So unless you have some type of engine lift or hoist, you've got to put on the base mount first so that you can use leverage to tip it up. That seemed to be way more useful in this process. And then we decided to put a piece of plywood down as well as 2x4s and bolt it in so we had additional lateral strength. This thing still wobbles, so we're gonna have to get the legs and levelable feet so that we can make this as sturdy as possible, and we'll probably still bolt it to the adjacent table.
Okay, we're doing the break-in on the spindle. It's now running at 600 RPMs in a forward direction. There's a little lever right here is forward, 0, and reverse. The gearbox is in low range, and that's a selector right there. So it's low range, 600 RPMs forward, and I'll run it like this for 10 minutes, and then I'll stop it and reverse it for another 10 minutes, and then we'll change to the high range on the gearbox and run it at 1,000 for 5 minutes going forward and then reverse. Okay, so now I'm going to run the spindle at low speed in reverse. So when we change it to reverse, 0 R for reverse. We turn the speed all the way down. Back here again, we just want to make sure that this is in low range. That's H for high and L for low over there. I'm going to open the cover, hit start. The spindle begins moving. Right now about 44 RPMs, but it's going in reverse. So I'll turn the speed up. To about 600 RPMs, and then we'll let it run for 10 minutes. These spindle break-in procedures are to make sure that the spindle gears and all the parts inside are lubricated properly. This has just come right out of the box and never been run. Okay, we have run for 10 minutes, and I'm going to shut it down, dial down the speed to minimum, and press the stop button, and then we're good. All right, so now I'm going to turn back to forward, and then I'm going to go to the gearbox and switch from low to high speed. I've got to wiggle the unit a little bit. Okay, so with the gearbox is in high speed, we're back and forward. Now we're going to run for 5 minutes. Go. Open switch, power on. In high speed, it starts off at 99, whereas in low gearbox, it started off at 44. Okay, we're going to turn this up. To 1,000 RPMs. We'll run it at 1,000 RPMs for 5 minutes, and then we'll stop, reverse direction, and do another 5 minutes going backwards.
We tested this final setup by using this mill drill to drill into our Damascus hammerheads. The very important lesson to note here is using good all-metal drill bits is very key to having success. I think my dad said he blew a fuse trying to get some of the larger drill bits through here, but other than that, ran great.